Hello, my name's Maisie McCabe and I'm the UK editor of Campaign magazine, and I'm really happy to be here with Uncommon's founders. Would you like to introduce yourself, guys?
Hey, I'm Lucy. I guess I'm the strategy one.
I'm Natalie. I'm from a business and production background.
I'm Nils. Apparently I'm the creative one.
You mentioned pitching a lot. I mean, seems to be furious. Kind of, was it 15 wins last year? Is that is that? I mean, is that kind of intentional? Does it, is it something that excites you all, or is it born out of necessity?
It was both last year, honestly. I mean, yes, we always love pitching. It's got an adrenaline rush, and we're still small, so we've got a pitch to grow, and we want to grow. But yeah, so it's great on lots and lots of levels. But I think we have been lucky, particularly at the beginning of this year, to kind of pick up a few bigger projects, which is what we wanted to do this year. Last year, it felt like we just wanted to get lots of good stuff in so that we were making, so our team was busy, and, to fill that gap of where big clients were saying, okay, we'll do that next year. So it was all of those things, but it's always fun. But it was 15, we realized that kind of, we do that with just us, really. We don't have a new biz team. We don't have kind of layers of people doing it. And clients always do that thing of, I want to see the people who are going to work on the business. And we're like, yeah, we will actually be working on the business.
Not bullshit this time.
So yeah, it's pretty ferocious.
It's quite interesting as well, Maisie, that last year and going into this year, because everyone's working on Zoom, it's kind of broken down a load of barriers for geography. So we actually did an awful lot of work for the States and are continuing to, because I think there's a sense of, well, let's just work with the people that we think understand and see the world like us and want to approach the problem slightly differently. So that seems to be a trend that started last year, but it's massively continuing. So that's opened up different types of projects.
When you're pitching, it comes down to the 5 best people, and those are the people, clients are going to meet and see and and that doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's just, I guess, on Zoom, it's literally focused on those people. So I think it probably becomes a little bit more around the work and the way you present it and the people, rather than the whole aura.
I think it changed as well, if I'm honest. It went at the start of the year, so the start of the pandemic, when we were pitching, there was still that sense of, well, we can't come in and see the fact that there's other people. So you were literally just presented with the people who are on the team. And because pitching before that, you were used to walking into an office and seeing lots of other people and feeling the buzz. You had to kind of recreate that. But I think over time, that's kind of changed a bit. And actually, as Lucy said, it's more down to the ways of working and how seamlessly you can do that. And actually just down to the creative and the strategic way of approaching the problems. But I think to start with, there was a sense from clients that they needed to see that it was real still. But yeah, it's changing.
Yeah, for a while we played the video of The Office at the beginning of pictures.
It's irrelevant.
We do have one.
Yeah, exactly.
There's one thing as well, Maisie. I think the trick to a load of our work is honestly that when we pitch, or even we don't pitch a lot of the time, we just have a conversation, that they see the world very much like us. That sounds like an obvious thing to say, but not enough agencies, I think, inquire as to why that client is in the room. Mm-hmm. And part of the secret for our relationship has always been starting in the right place together. And if they turn up and they kind of tend to go, oh, we don't really know why you're here. We've heard you're sort of all right, and we just want a 1% uplift in sales. They're probably not for us. It's the ones who come in and they've seen our work, or they've seen, Lucy or Nat talk, or they're like, I saw this, and is this what you're about? Because if it is, then that's what we want. Everything tends to come from that. In this period, it was really critical we did that, because it was like, if we chose the wrong partner, ultimately it's like, that's what we're going to end up pouring our lives into. So there was a bit of pressure on that, being honest. I was really nervous that, because we also wanted money, right? And I was sort of fucking nervous that we were going to compromise on that a bit. And we didn't have to. We were lucky, again, we were lucky in that there were people that sort of got what we did and also had money, which was great. So
yeah, there was a weird but kind of nice thing last year, that you know, I think traditionally agencies and clients quite often have had a really formal relationship, and there's a process, and then they brief you and da da da. And last year, all of that got smashed out of the water. And that's a joy, because clients are kind of going, okay, we need to do something, we need to do it quick. And we're good at that. So that really played in our favour, actually. And I think clients drops a lot of the stuff that gets in the way and drags it out and takes time. And they were super brave, because everybody had their kind of back to the wall, and that would be lovely to see if we can kind of continue that this year.
What is there a win that you're most proud of? Sorry, it's like asking you to pick your children, I suppose, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I was going to say, like, it wasn't a big one, but I remember we met the guys at Yolt, and it was quite early in the beginning of sort of lockdown pitching, and they were just really lovely, and they just kind of really got it, and that was just a really nice one, just because it felt like so not easy, but it felt like we were all super aligned and none of that stuff mattered. That was a nice one. It wasn't probably the biggest, but it was just a really nice one.
Is there more to come in that campaign, or is that?
There will be more to come. But
it's a good, the good insight there, Lucy.
Yeah, fun, that one. I mean, yeah, there were lots, weren't they? Quaker was another one, and lots this year, actually. This year's been kind to us too.
And lots of different shapes of projects for existing clients as well. I think that was what was nice. So lots more brand design and different shapes. So yeah, it definitely allowed us to be a bit more prolific.
I don't know about you guys. It's a really interesting question, that, like, because I thought about pride. I used to be really proud of new business. I used to be obsessed with it back at Grey. These two will tell you it was like, and I'm not now. I'm more proud of, honestly, pulling off the relationships that we establish and the work we make and proving that it works. Like, honestly, it sounds so weird. That the stuff that makes my heart swell is when we're like looking at Britain Get Talking or whatever, and I'm like, that's what it's about. That's what we said it was going to be about. I'm much more proud of that than I am about, you know, the new relationships are great, but they're still a test for both sides. You know, whereas the stuff like that, that's like proper. You know, that's when anyway, sorry, that's just a really interesting question.
Is that the work you're most proud of then, Nils? The ITV stuff?
Personally, yeah, definitely. I think it's what we said we were going to do. You know, we said we were going to partner with brands that wanted to make a difference and positively impact, you know, and all of that stuff. And that's the most recognised mental health campaign in the country now. So yeah, we're over the moon with it, I think. And
in terms of kind of, I guess, the structure and building the agency, how has that been doing that remotely? You've kind of obviously added quite a lot of staff. Presumably are there people you've not met in person yet?
Yeah, quite a gang of them now. Yeah, about 80 people.
So weird. I'm really looking forward to, somebody was saying, I had no idea how tall they were. It's that kind of weird thing. You've got no idea. Yeah.
I started this with a bob.
Can I also tell you a story, by the way? Lise really got me the other day. She was like, oh, how tall they are. I told her I was 5'11". She went, you're not fucking 5'11".
You're not. You're 5'7".
5'6". Yeah, 5'5". I'm like 5'5" in your heads. That just tells you everything you need to know about Uncommon, guys, all right? Fuck's sake.
We've built quite a crew, and it must be really hard starting under lockdown, not having met the rest of the team. So we've tried to make that as easy as it can be, but it's tough. We can't recreate it. I mean, celebrating Agency of the Year was really hard. We sent everyone a bottle of champagne and did a kind of like Zoom party, and spent a lot of time talking about how we're going to celebrate when we're out of lockdown.
What should we expect from this year?
Yeah, I just think it's influenced. Like I think with some work hopefully coming, that you'll start to evidence that a bit more. That our approach isn't this niche thing. I always hate when people presume that, you know, we're only able to do that on the smaller stuff. I think B&Q hopefully is a great example of our approach being applied to properly, you know, one of the nation's biggest brands. But then there's some other stuff, you know, globally, and in terms of the shape of that work, we're hoping to do some stuff. And like Lou said as well, we're going to spread our wings. So there's some things in production that aren't adverts at all, maybe some longer form stuff and some other bits that have been a long time in the making, you know. And to your point as well, the team, you know, the team is critical over the course of this year. So you know, really how we get best in class, you know, diverse bunch of people that really, you know, we want to carve out a different way of looking at all of it. And, you know, we're really passionate about that. And so, you know, hopefully this year will enable us to build what we need to build.
It's more and bigger, not in a kind of, you know, we want to conquer the world. We just want to do great work that has a wider impact. And that's the deal, isn't it? You know, everyone always goes, oh, it's fine to do that when you've got small clients because they're crazy and off they go. And actually what you want to show is that if you do that kind of work on the bigger scale, it really makes a difference. And that's why I think we're kind of proud of, you know, the fact that there are scale ups and there's people like ITV and B&Q who are kind of doing very different kind of work than they would have done before. So we'd love to have a go at a kind of global scale one of those. I think that would be really exciting to see. And then, you know, we also want to spread, we've done a lot of design work. We've made pack designs for jars. We've done a new website for Habito. We've done COV, City of Culture, identity we want to grow in design and all of that stuff too. Spread it.
Oh, thank you very much. I think that's probably a good whistle stop tour. Thank you very much.
The weirdest year of the lot to win in.
Classic, isn't it? I knew, you know, typical us, yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll win again, maybe at some point. Hey. Cool. Well, congratulations, guys, and thank you very much for your time.
Easy.
Nice one.
Thanks, Maisie.